reading Stolen Focus by Joanne Harry. It's in my older brother trunk. We are going to continue reading from page 24. Let's start. Come on.
Do you know where on page 24?
Top one.
I think writing 21 or something.
No,
124. Are you sure? What were you on 21 last time?
21, not 24. I think.
No, this is the furthest point.
Right.
Read.
Go yet?
He saw my puzzled expression and explained to me that when the tide comes from Provincetown, it covers the beach. But what you can't see is that the sand beneath the water is uneven. Beneath its surface, there are sandbars and islands of raised sand. If you walk along them, it gives the peculiar impression to anyone watching that you are walking on water. I'll see this man often after that. As the weeks and months passed, standing out in the Atlantic, his palms facing outwards, still unmoving for hours. That, I thought to myself, is the opposite of Facebook. Standing perfectly still, looking out towards the ocean with your palms open. Taking your turn.
Huh?
Yeah.
Nah. Eventually, I came to my friend Andrew's house. One of his dogs ran to greet me. We strolled down to have dinner together. Andrew had been on a long, silent retreat the year before. No phone, no talking. And he told me to enjoy this sense of bliss, because it wouldn't last long. It's when you set aside your distractions, he said, that you begin to see what you were distracting yourself from. Oh, Andrew, you're such a drama queen, I said, and we both laughed. Chongy, bye.
Later, I walked down the commercial street, past the library and down the town hall, and the AIDS monument, at the cupcake store, and the drag queens handing out flyers for their shows that night, until I heard some singing. In a pub, the Crown and Anchor people were gathered there at the piano, singing show tunes. I went in. Together with these strangers, we covered most of the soundtrack of Evita and Rent. I was struck again by a big difference between standing in a group of strangers, singing with them, and interacting with groups of strangers through screens. The first dissolves your sense of ego, the second jabs and pokes at it. The last song we sang was A Whole New World. Tina turn.
Well, we're being told right now. Okay. I walked back to the beach house alone at 2 a.m. I thought about the difference between the glowing blue light that I had spent so much of my life staring at, which keeps you alert, and the natural light that had faded all around me, which seemed to say, the day is over, rest now. The beach house was empty. There were no texts or voice messages or emails waiting for me, or if there were, I wouldn't know for 3 months. I climbed into bed, and I fell into the deepest sleep I could remember. I didn't wake up until 15 hours later. Yeah, you know. So.
I spent a week in this haze of decomposition, feeling almost stoned with a mixture of exhaustion and stillness. I sat in cafes, I talked to strangers. I wandered around the Provincetown Library and its three bookstores, picking out yet more books I was going to read. I ate enough lobsters that, If that species ever evolves consciousness, I will be remembered as the Stalin figure, destroying them on an industrial scale. I walked all the way out to the spot where the Pilgrims first arrived on American soil 400 years before. They wandered around, couldn't find much, and sailed further down, landing on Plymouth Rock. Strange things started to bubble up into my consciousness. I kept hearing in my head the opening lines of songs from the 1980s and 1990s when I was a kid, ones I hadn't thought about for years. Cat Among the Pigeons by Bros, or The Day We Caught the Train by Ocean Colour Scene. Without Spotify, I had no way to listen to the songs in full, so I sang them to myself as I walked down the beach. Every few hours, I would feel an unfamiliar sensation gurgling inside me, and I'd ask myself, what is that? Ah, yes, calm. But all you've done is leave 2 humps of metal behind. Why does this feel so different? It felt like I had spent years holding 2 screaming, colicky babies, and other babies have been handed over to a babysitter, and the screaming and vomiting had vanished from view. Your turn.
Wait, where am I up to?
Last one.
I'm up to this one.
No, this one.
But you just read that one.
Oh, then I read 2.
Everything slowed down for me. Normally, I follow the news every hour or so, getting constant drip feed of anxiety-provoking factoids, and trying to smush it together into some kind of sense.
Keep reading.
Keep reading, son.
Yeah.
You
Provincetown.
forgot in.
In Provincetown, I could no longer do this. Every morning I would buy 3 newspapers and sit down to read them. And then I would know what's happening.
What happened?
No, I lost the spot. And quickly just tell me I was wrong. Oh, what happened in the news until the next day? Instead of a constant blast,
Stance blast. Not blast. You forgot a word again.
I said constant.
You said constant blast.
Yeah.
You forgot stant. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I couldn't see that.
A constant stant blast?
Yeah,
How does that make sense?
I couldn't see that, my bad.
What does constant stant blast mean? Constant blast running all throughout my waking life. I got one in-depth curated guide to what happened, and I could turn my attention to other things. One day, not after long I arrived, a gunman went into a newspaper office in Maryland and murdered 5 journalists. As a journalist myself, that's obviously close to my heart. And in my normal life, I would have received texts from my friends as soon as it happened, and then followed it for hours on social media, absorbing garbled accounts.
Read clearly.
I am.
You're reading in a robotic voice. Come on.
Gradually assembling in a picture. In Provincetown, the day after the massacre, I knew within 10 minutes all the clear, tragic details I needed to know from a dead tree. Suddenly, physical newspapers, the very thing this gunman had
read
targeted.
properly.
I am.
You're going, oh, this is. Come on.
This is properly.
No, it's not. That's.
Seemed to me like an extraordinary modern invention, and one we all needed consuming news. I realized, including panic, this new style included perspective. I felt like something was happening in that first week that was slowly opening my receptors a little to more attention to more connection. But what was it? I only began to understand those first 2 weeks in Provincetown, and that's why I felt the way I did. Later, when I went to Copenhagen,
It's been 11 minutes.
get to the top.
Alright.
You go more then.
Did you read that?
Yeah.
Alright. Soon Lehman's songs jumped into his bed, and he knew, with a lurch in his gut, that there was something wrong. Every morning, his 2 boys would leap all over him and his wife, excitedly shrieking, glad to be awake for another day. It's the kind of scene you picture, longingly, when you imagine becoming a parent, and soon adored his sons. He knew he should be thrilled by their joy at being awake and alive, but each morning, whenever they appeared, he would instinctively stretch out his hand, not for them, but for something colder. I'll reach over and grab my phone to check my email, he told me, even though these amazing, wonderful, sweet creatures are crawling around my bed. That's going to be all for today. And it's been 12 minutes.
Facci, Marie. Go.
That's going to be all for today, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're ending it off on page 27. Bye-bye!
Good night.